Good morning, Super Trucker. How you doing? It's Christian with Super Trucker Podcast, bringing you trucking talk every day, 9 a.m. So here we go. Today is Thursday. We're getting closer to the end of the week. I hope all my owner-operators are meeting their goals and getting real close to that. All right, guys, make sure you smash that like, give me that thumbs up, push this over to share this content with fellow truckers, and that will help the algorithm get this information in front of good people. So just doing a mic check. If everything sounding off is good. Make sure, hold up, we have a little technical difficulty here. All right, so here we go. All right, guys. So everybody who's out there who is already an owner operator, don't forget we're creeping up on it. Make sure you're getting that 2290. Don't let that blindside you, and then you got to pay a little bit of a fine on that. So make sure you're getting that done. Plenty of places that'll get it done for you online. 1, 2, 3. That bad boy is easy. If you even if you don't run for us and you need help getting that done, it's 863-342-5171. Always willing to help out, show you how to do it, and then you're good to go. A lot of first-time owner operators, this content actually falls on their lap, so that's pretty good. So what we're saying is, give us a call, because when you're buying your first truck, you don't have to pay the full $22.90. It is prorated. We'll show you how to get that done. The only thing you got to pay attention to, my friend, is your EIN number. Make sure it's been in existence for a minimum of 10 days, and then we can work the magic and get you that $22.90 on the spot. So a little bit trick of the trade, just helping everybody out. All right, so here we go. All right, so my people who are joining, where is everybody at? Where are you getting loaded? Where are you getting unloaded? All right, here we go. Joel, how you doing? All right, so what we do, I got one person on that YouTube real quick. This is a mic check. Can you hear me? How's the sound? Because last time we had some issues on there, so I just want to make sure it gets handled before we get started. Once again, what we do here is we compile a bunch of comments, questions across multiple social media that we have going on, and we compile them and deliver answers to those questions for owner operators to be and current owner operators who possibly might be looking for a better place to actually lease their truck onto. So for sure, here we go. We're going to get started on that. So number one, that's why a lot of these questions will be repetitive sometimes, but it's always that we're taking the trends, right? We're listening to the people, we're answering them live and so forth. So here we go. What percentage of your fleet is made up of owner operators? So here at Voyager Nation, we are 100% owner operator based company. We do own the trailers, so that part, yes. But we are 100% owner op. There is nobody to compete with in that arena. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that piece. Another thing that we got going on is, do you provide orientation or onboarding support? So yeah, for sure, definitely. For us, yesterday was a pretty good day. Monday was a monumental day. We put 7 guys on this week. Shout out to Nina, good job on that. One of the things that we do is organize it. A lot of prep work goes into that. We're quick, fast, and efficient. So I'll spend some time on that. What we call a fast track approval, right? So at the end of the day, you can be compliant with DOT without a problem and get people on as quick as possible. So check this out. As long as an owner operator has all their documents in check, it shouldn't take more than 24 hours, if everything is done strategically. So that's where we find value, efficiency, and getting people on. So my question to anybody who's been out there: what's the longest you've ever waited to onboard. I know Landstar takes like a month is what I hear. Man, that's just absolutely ridiculous. Not sure why that happens. But that's problematic. So again, what we do is fast track approval. You can be applying in the morning, and 24 hours later, you're signing, you're in orientation, finalizing paperwork, and actually load it out. So we pride ourselves on that fast track approval, but it takes a team to do that, and that team is here to serve you. So if you are an owner operator looking for that opportunity and you understand that wasting time is inefficient, you got to give us a call at 863-342-5171. Guys, give me that thumbs up, and make sure you like, share, subscribe. We got videos like this coming out every day, Monday to Friday after 5 o'clock. And check out that Super Trucker podcast channel. All right, so again, guys, let me know in the comments what's the longest you've ever waited to onboard with a company, and why? How inefficient was that? So here we go, guys. Okay, so we're gonna jump into a little bit of again, we're just answering the questions that come in. So somebody's asking, what is the process for helping me recover a load if I break down? So there's a couple things that happen. It's not a cookie cutter. Everything is situational. You have to understand that. It's not that I'm giving a vague answer. It's just that it's a real answer, because we cannot treat every situation exactly the same. Even though it is trucking, a lot of the variables are going to be very different. It's going to depend on where you're breaking down, potentially how long this repair is going to take. It also depends on the broker and the customer. Who they are, how much are they willing to play ball. For the most part, we have extremely deep relationships with a lot of the people we work with, so that gives us the ability that they already know us, and they're going to work with us in that regard. So the ideal situation is to get back up and running and you finish your own load. That is going to be the ideal situation. Sometimes, because parts where you broke down, things of that nature, may cause an alternative delay. So in the event that somebody has to repower that loaded trailer, there'll be a split, but it's going to be more than fair. We're going to, we consider everything that you covered, how much ground you covered, and who's coming to you, how much, deadhead to him, and they're going to obviously finish up the load. So all of those key factors are there. But that's just not enough information to answer the question, because in addition to all of that, we have to pay attention to the customer, right? It might just be that product is extremely important to get to their facility for a production line, or let's say something like that. So in those kind of events, those guys are going to automatically want to say, hey, we'll repower it, we'll find somebody, and we're not going to do that. Right? We're not going to let the broker dictate how we're going to resolve this issue. We're going to be handling it. And obviously we would work with you. So in that event that it got repowered, one of our guys will show up, drop his empty on you. He grabs the loaded. And then once you're up and running, get back on the road, and you're going to have that. All right. So good morning, everybody. Please drop your questions in the chats. And I got 4 people in there. Let me get 4 thumbs up. It's going to help the algorithm and push this content in front of the right people who need to see it. So smash that like, make sure you're subscribed. We got constant videos Monday to Friday, and I think you'll benefit from that. So make sure you're checking us out. We talk trucking, real talk, no fluff, no filter. So here we go, guys. All right. Do I need to call you for every issue, or I can solve problems independently? No, we value go-getters. We value people that can solve problems. The best people around there to do business with and have partners with is results driven individuals. However, it's just going to depend on the problem. So here we go. I look for partnership. So we're in this together. And one of the biggest things is sometimes something may seem small and insignificant, and it can turn into a bigger problem. So let me give you an example. Delivering some Gatorade. And now some guy is like, hey, man, just keep that. Right. And now you think you're solving a problem. Or it could be anything else. Right. And they tell you discard that. And now the broker flips shit. So even though it seemed like an easy situation at the time, we don't know the back office and how many people are involved. And now the load doesn't get paid out until we find a resolution to what happened to that overage or the damage, and we have to prove it. And if not, they want to charge us. So something so simple just got escalated. So part of solving problems in our in what we're doing is communicating, right? We each have a role in everything that we do. So we value every team player that's here. We value owner operator, but it's about partnership and that synergy on resolving the issue. So no one is saying that one person should not be solving any kind of problems. It's just in this game called trucking, not just us. It's not that we have immunity to it, but in this game called trucking, the process is the punishment, right? So it seems so simple where now, you just have some overage over there that nobody wanted. Just throw that shit away and you keep moving. But now it's not that simple. Now a broker wants to know where you donated it, this, that, the pictures, this, everything could get compounded really quick. And so over communication relieves you of a lot of liabilities. So now, even though you did that, are you prepared to accept the incidentals that come along with that decision? So, nobody wants to be a bad guy and charge you for it in that specific scenario. So again, at the end of the day, what I'm talking about is communication. So, we welcome ideas. We welcome all of that. It's just a matter that we got to be making decisions together in order that the result is in everyone's benefit. So here we go, guys. How much decision-making freedom will I have day to day? Okay, so here we go. So maybe the comment is from the same individual. So wherever this person is coming from, maybe they're forced dispatching them and take this and nothing else. And I don't really know what stems all these questions, but the relationship that you're going to have with your dispatcher is going to be monumental. I truly believe that that's probably the most important relationship you're going to have with any carrier that you're on there, right? Because you're doing the day-to-day stuff with that individual that will directly impact your financial outcome for that week. So you just got to make sure that the freedom, not everybody can handle freedom, right? You cannot do everything. One person cannot do everything. My recruiter cannot be a dispatcher, safety, and recruit. A dispatcher cannot be a mechanic, safety. Like you can't do that. You need people, you need key players in certain key positions in order for this thing to thrive. So the same comes to your business, because you don't have, it's the same for you. So, you don't just want a yes sir as a dispatcher who's doing exactly what you say. You want somebody who's going to challenge you and bring you ideas, make you think outside the box, give you things that you've never tried before, because it might work out. And that happens a lot of times because a lot of our owner operators who onboard, as humans, we all become complacent. And so they come with complaciveness from the former company. And when they come with that, if things are done different right off the bat, nobody likes change that much. Change isn't one of the biggest things, right? So here we go. So you want to be able, you want to be able to have that mindset. You want to be able to be, you want to be able to have the ability to adapt, and that comes with having an open mind. So negotiation is fine. Coming to a compromise is fine. But it has to be a realistic freedom, right? You're operating within this industry called trucking that no one controls the variables of the rates and up and down and the price of fuel. These are just kind of things that happen. So you want to pay attention to all of that. You're free. You have freedom to a certain degree. So here we go. How do you handle DOT audits or random inspections with your owner operators? So we have had individual communication. Obviously, while it's happening, we've had people call us, and safety team has been there on the side of while they're going through an inspection. And it's not about holding someone's hand through something like that, but avoiding violations for yourself, right? In plenty of situations, people get nervous, they forget things. So I'll share one of them. Like, one of the most common things that is out there I see on PSPs all the time is failure to have ELD instructions for the DOT officer, right? And it just is crazy, man, because we put it in the permit book. It's the last thing in your permit book. It's right there. And then not just that, we use Motive. When you're on Motive, it's actually electronically on the app. So it's in two places, and sometimes people just get caught up. They're nervous about what's going on, and it just escapes them. So in certain situations, drivers have called in. Safety teams like, look, man, that what they're looking for is actually in your permit book, or you can show them off of the app, and then crisis averted on that. There's been situations where the guy needs a cab card for whatever reason. He just kind of misplaced it. Here we go, guys. Make sure I'm getting those thumbs up. It goes a long way. We appreciate that. It helps the algorithm push this content in front of the right people. So smash that like button as well. And if you are not, subscribe and hit that bell so you get all the videos that are coming out, and get that content in front of you. So we would appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So we have that. So even those cab cards, right? Maybe we still got a violation for not having it at the moment, and the guy just had misplaced it. So that's why one of the things that we could be doing, and if you guys aren't doing it, one of the things that we do is, if you're ever going to corporate, people come here, bring, we call it the permit book. Just bring that book inside, have somebody in the office review it, make sure nothing's missing, make sure nothing has changed. And what we do, we want to catch that here. We want to catch it now. So I'm not really concerned, as so much why this guy's cab card went missing, right? That is a problem, but I'd rather just put the new one in there and say, all right, don't touch that, leave that in there, and now he's compliant. So it's so much better if somebody from the carrier, so at Voyager, we catch it rather than DOT catches it with a violation. So it's these little things that people could be doing in order to avoid major issues out on the road. So make sure, if your team is not doing stuff like that for you, you're in the wrong spot. 863-342-5171. Give us a call and link up with Voyager Nation. All right. What is the process? 2291st purchase truck. All right. So the first. So when you first purchase that truck is going to be new. It may be an old truck or used truck rather, but it is new to you. So what you want to be doing is, you got a 30-day grace period to get that bad boy, because you're going to start paying it from when you start using it. So the price will be prorated. So what you can do is you can go to IRS office, set up an appointment, go down there, wait in that line, or you can also do it online. A lot of guys do get confused. We do drive-in all up to we haul legal weight. So make sure you're picking the right schedule. It's V as in Victor. So the weight, 80,000. All right. So just make sure you're paying attention to that. And if you're online, the trick of the trade is your EIN information that you're filling out on that website has to match IRS directly, or it's going to get rejected. So here you go. That's the basics to that. If you got questions about that, 863-342-5171. That's part of the partnership that we do here. We walk you through it, and we don't just do it for you. You're sitting here right next to me, or who is ever helping you, and we're showing you how to fish. That way you can do it on your own next time around. It's really not that complicated. It's just complicated if you've never done it before. All right. All right. So here we go. All right. What's my next question here? Sorry, I lost my place. Am I required to sign a non-compete or exclusivity agreement? Nah, none of that is happening. So keep it simple. All right. I would imagine, and I don't know what would prompt that question. Maybe that guy is doing some kind of secret customer freight, or who knows. All right. Who is responsible for DOT violations? Me or the company? Basically everybody's involved, man. There's really no finger pointing in that regard. Once somebody's going to get that violation, it's going to hit your PSP and it's going to hit our CSA, right? So at the end of the day, whether it's on the trailer or your truck, people, you got to be pre-tripping out there. You're signing off on that. You're responsible. You're hauling that. So in DOT, you really got to look at it from the eyes of DOT. So I've had a bunch of company drivers who say, it's not my truck, it's a company truck, but they don't give a shit, because at the end of the day, you're hauling it. So in their eyes, you are the one that pulled it. That people could tell you to take it all day long, but you are the one that makes the decision whether you're going to run that or you're not. That's the way they're viewing it, right? people who want to be non-combative. So, for example, you're trying to apply to a place, and you tell the recruiter there, "Nah, that's not my violation. That was a company truck, and lights weren't working, or anything on that vehicle." Okay, it's not a dismissive thing, man. Like, what they're really looking at. Let me tell you what the PSP really is. What they're looking at. It's actually behavior. It's we humans are creatures of habit, man. Like, if you really look at that, it's the pattern of the individual. So if that happens to be a continual pattern on an individual, whether it's a company truck, what makes you think he's gonna just completely do a 180 and be a different person once it's his truck, just because he bought it and it's his? No, like, it's human behavior. So they're looking for those patterns, and then that's the problem. So I'll kind of share a story on that. For example, I actually had somebody who, very nice driving record, clean, everything is good, and then actually couldn't move forward, insurance reasons. And some people will say it's unfair or whatever, but it was too many violations for child support. So just let me explain, because yeah, the guy has a right to earn, obviously, in order to handle the bills and all that. But whatever situation he's in is right. That guy got in that situation by himself. So that's number one. Nobody was there with him. So that's number one. And then number two, what they are looking at is the level of risk that it would be to have this guy on the fleet. Because here's what would happen next. We've actually gone through this, where a guy got pulled over, suspended for child support. He didn't know, whatever, nobody knew, but then he gets towed, and he gets towed for like 10 miles, like no big deal, right? However, there's no real regulation on what a tow company is going to charge, and so that becomes a $10,000 bill, right? And because it's towed together, you ain't getting any of that trailer. You're not getting anything unless that bill is paid. So now all of a sudden, everybody's dragged into this problem because my man couldn't cut a check, and handle his business. So that's what they're looking at. They're looking at that behavior. So there is less risk for something to go wrong and all of that, or get a guy caught, driving without a CDL and all that, with somebody who has just a lane, improper lane infraction, and that's it. So he may have something on his PSP or MVR approved. This guy may be squeaky clean, but too many suspensions, and then they won't work with him. So if anybody's ever found themselves in that situation, that's typically what's going down. But just, I'm just here to share that. Pedro Lopez, yes, sir. 2002 Freightliner Century is acceptable. Give us a call, 863-342-5171. For sure. Let's go. So for my people who are out there, yes, as long as your truck accepts the ELD, and when you move, it automatically goes to the drive time. That's enough for us to approve it. Obviously, it's got to have meet all DOT standards, and we are ready to rock and roll. So yes, sir. Absolutely. Give us a call. All right. All right. What's the next one here? Do I get access and copies of contracts or broker agreements? I'm assuming you're talking about rate confirmations. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. You're even going to get the actual email forwarded to you. So transparency is everything. So that answers that. No big deal on that. Okay. All right. If I decide to upgrade trucks, how do you help with the transition? All right, so this is a big one for us. We do this all the time. I got a couple successful stories of when these kind of things have happened. Everything is about timing, and everything is about communication. So check this out. We have had people that actually, we've gotten this process in between making a delivery, as long as the paperwork is right. So for example, now you have a plate, right? We'll help with the transfer of the plate. You should not be losing money on that plate, right? So we'll help with that. The insurance, swapping that out real quick, having the quote, having the VIN, having everything, and we can even do, we can get you a couple quotes on that. So you pick the best one. We'll even tell you don't execute it until you're there picking out the new truck. So we'll help with that. The contract, the guys who have been onboarded with us already and they're transitioning, that's already in place. The motive, everything gets transferred over. And it's such a worry-free process. We've done it time and time again. And what we keep focused is that you don't have any downtime. You're probably spending enough money, down payment on that, switching trucks. That is a costly event for any owner operator that's out there, and we understand that. And so, what the value that we bring to the table is we handle all that back office work, supporting you based on how you're structuring, whether it's your own plate, whether it's you need insurance quote, everything, all T's are crossed, all I's are dotted. We make sure that that's a seamless process. Even the dispatcher gets involved because we want to make sure that whatever reload, there's enough time to get that going. And so everything gets calculated into that. And so that's why that's important. Yes. So that's a very good question. Just as we mentioned before, yes, 2290s as well. Everything gets done, and we're here to help you through every step of the way. So make sure you guys give me that thumbs up. Share this content with fellow owner operators. Put it in front of them. Make sure you subscribe if you are not already, and hit that bell so that you can get access to all the videos that come out when they come out, so you get it fresh and live. All right, guys. All right. Here we go. Can I test your company for 30 to 60 days before making a full commitment? So here's how it goes. That's probably the sweet spot, that 60 days. But now you should be committed to the process. So here's what's going to happen. You got to be committed to yourself first, and for this thing called trucking to be successful. Yeah, for sure. That's not a problem. I don't even think you'll be disappointed in 60 days. So that won't affect anything. However, everything remains the same. Any carrier is governed by DOT. So what is going to remain the same is the process to onboard, whether you're a lifer or whether you're going to be here 2-3 weeks. That's what a lot of people don't understand. So, vetting, everything is the same. So the cost is the same for any carrier, right? VOEs have to go out, verifications have to go out, your application has to be tight. Truck has to, truck gets the motive, truck gets the decals, permits, adding you on to the insurance, the VIN numbers added to the insurance. Everything remains the same, whether it's 30, 60, 90, 100 days. So that process in itself is timely, costs money. Remember, we do the fast track approval. All people invested are there. So for sure, that's not a problem. I just want to say that the process is always going to be the same. So you're going to have 100% commitment from us for your success. All we ask is 100% commitment in regards to give us the best effort somebody has, so that we can make sure that we're making you the most money as possible and your business thrives, right? Because then after that is happening, everything else falls into place, right? It's not some selfless act that, oh yeah, just be successful. Because when you're winning, everything around you will fall into place, and everything is going to be exactly where it needs to be. All right. Do you allow seasonal work or part-time running? No, not really. So check this out. It's fine that somebody owns their truck. It's fine that somebody is in a position to be able to say, hey man, I'm a part-time runner. I would just have to look at it like, what does part-time mean? How much money is actually generated? Because it's not that I just offer that for you and then that's all cute, fine and gravy. That's not enough for us, right? It has to be that you're making enough money to sustain that truck, right? So if somebody is running part-time and is only making, $500-900, like what's the real point? Even though he may not have personal bills and he's like, my cars are paid, my house is paid. The problem is that maintenance on the truck is going to cost the same, and you're just kind of, you're on borrowed time. And also the cost to run that, I'm upside down, right? I got a cost of the trailer, maintenance on the trailer, insurance, because your VIN is you're on the insurance, the staff that deals with dispatching you, the free parking, drop yard availability you have. So there is a cost to keep you on our fleet. And if you're only running 1-2 days a week, that's just a rolling liability, because you could be at a traffic light and somebody rear ends you, and then everything you thought you made is gone. So that's just, It would depend. I would need to know more about the actual situation. What does part-time mean? One load a week. No, I'm not down for that. But again, whoever that was, give us a call, 863-342-5171. We accommodate. We do customized dispatching for all owner operators. So I would just be interested in what part-time means. All right. What happens if I bring on a second driver under my lease? So the way we do it, we do this all the time. We have guys with multiple trucks. Some guys are just fleet owners and they're not even driving. Some guys are driving and have another truck on the fleet as well. So the way we work it, if this is a question about the lease, every truck has a lease agreement tied to it. Every truck has an escrow. Every truck is treated independently. We do pay the owner operator, whoever owns the truck. He gets paid for both trucks, and then he would then pay his driver. Some guys are doing 25%, 30%, whatever they negotiated with the fleet driver, and then that's going to be between them. So there's never a problem to get it done. One of the questions we would have is what we would want to know up front, and what we talk about in orientation is how are we going to be dispatching your driver? And the reason that's the most important question is because we want to be able to know, are we force dispatching this guy and he gets what he gets? Am I negotiating the loads with you and then he's just doing it, or am I calling him? I can't be calling everybody. So we can't, the dispatcher it's not realistic to actually have everybody on the phone and wait for you to get back to me. And it's like some kind of community event to decide if we're going to do this load or not. We're never going to make money. That load is long gone. So trust is a major thing. I have seen and witnessed the best way to do that is when that fleet driver is just forced dispatch. He lets us know what the home time is. He's letting the fleet owner know what the home time is going to be. And then that's what we respect. And everything else in between is about making that money. And it would just be forced dispatch. And that is how you secure an outcome, provided that your dispatcher can hit like ours, right? That's the other important part, because if you're in the wrong place and now you're forced dispatching him to bad areas and you're just wasting your time, then of course it's gonna spiral out of control. So you want to make sure you have a quality dispatcher. We got plenty of them. Give us a call at 863-342-5171. My guys are always on standby, ready to help. So here we go, guys. Make sure you give me the thumbs up, smash that like button, and subscribe. It gets all this content in front of you as it comes out. And if you hit that bell, it's gonna notify you that a new video is out. All right, my people. So here we go. What's the next one here? Can I build a fleet under your authority? Yeah, for sure, man. We're open to so many opportunities and ideas that are out there. It's really up to what the people are willing to do, right? Because it's all about actions. It's all about actions. Okay. Good morning. How much? All right. So here we go. We got guys doing 72, 9K. It just depends, Hudson, how you run. Give us a call, 863-342-5171. We got Nina on standby. She'll take care of you. Definitely, for sure. So getting back to that, it's just we have this opportunity, right? We're open to a lot of guys, right? We've even said certain fleet owners build their following. You could do that under our roof, kind of like an agency type thing. You're bringing in what you're going to be doing is you're bringing in your fleet, and as you're bringing them in, you're actually dispatching that, right? And what would that person leverage? So that person can leverage access to trailers. That person can leverage that they're just adding people to their insurance. All right. And so why that's so important is because, check this out. Sometimes what's going to happen is the following. Right. Let's say an owner operator is out there doing it on his own. You get a guy who's committed to you. All right. So now you add this guy to the insurance. Boom. Down payment. Right. So now you got a down payment and he's committed and he's about to start working with you. and now you had to add a trailer. So you go and you go ahead and you go rent one because he needs one. So let's say you're there and that's your situation, and then all of a sudden he's like, nah, man, I was talking to the wifey. She said with the kids, nah, man, I can't really be doing this. I'm going to look for something more local. Well, you didn't spend all this money. You're now in this compromising. You're in this position that it's hard to back out of, right? Plus, you added this guy to the insurance, so you ain't getting that refund. And so now you wasted a lot of time, and that's detrimental and very costly to you. So why not leverage an organ like us, right? So let's say a guy, boom, he gets a chair, and now all of a sudden, this guy has a following, and he's got 2, 3 owner operators to follow him. Now he can start dispatching them. Trailers, I got them right back there, added to the insurance. They're qualified. Everything is already done. Safety, compliance, everything is helping him assist. And let's say my man builds his fleet to 10 trucks, and then he goes to do his own thing. Cool, man. You can take your trucks, take the trucks with you. They're yours. So here we go. He can build the following under one roof. But again, he can build that company and then leave. That's not the problem. The problem is how many people are going to be committed to doing that. So I just haven't ran into the right person. The offer's there. The option is there. The chair's there. The phone's there. Everything is there. It's just a matter of the individual looking to take advantage of that situation. So again, there's a lot of things that you can leverage. And even that, when you're a first-time owner-operator or you're an owner-operator out there, first year out, you mess around and grow too fast, you're going to have some issues renewing that insurance. Insurance is going to see that as a risk, right? And not just that, you're going to also see not only not a renewal, but you may not even get an offer to renew that insurance. They just see it as basically chaos. So whatever reason that they're thinking that way, these insurance companies, is just something to think about. Plus capital, you know what I mean? It costs money to add people on, just like I said. So imagine 2, 3 of those events within a year as you're trying to grow your business. That could be costly to your bottom line. So just consider that. Look at all the leveraging that you can do. And then when you get to a certain point, you may not even, it may work for you. Who knows? Like you may like to run under that type of thing, because I was actually talking to a buddy of mine who's up in Jersey, and he runs he's in something different, or intermodal, and he likes being in the agency part. And the reason he likes to be an agent owner is, he said, actually because of the insurance. He's like, I don't have to deal with any of that. He goes, I'm not trying to cause damage to anybody. He goes, but if one of my guys has a major accident, a rollover or something like that, he's like, it's not my problem. He goes, it is and it's not. It's their insurance, so they're mitigating all of that. He goes, I just get a new driver. So I guess he views it in that regard. He's picking what headaches he kind of wants. Obviously, the income is going to be a little bit different, but that's what he's looking at, right? So there you go, guys. He values that support from the agent that he's leased under. All right, so we're Swift. Yep, we talk gross, man. Gross, sir. So here we go. So what's next, man? All right, guys. Any other questions? Put them in the comments as well. Here to answer them. What ELD system do you use? And do I have to use yours? So we do use Motive. Pretty simple. We like it. Download the app. A lot of our guys like it because it's simple. And you would have to use ours because all of our guys are leased under us. And what that means is we need to have access to that, last 7 days, all that good stuff, so we can have DOT compliance with that. All right. So yeah, for sure. And I do want to cover some. A lot of guys have had their own Motive units that they have had before, and they purchased them and they have them for whatever reason, and they try to bring them here, and so I can add them to my fleet and use it. So I cannot add that box to my fleet. Our units are provided to you, and they're part of the package deal. So as they're part of that package deal, they there's no cost to you. So it's I don't know. I guess the one they have is a big old paperweight. Do you guys do 34-hour reset? Yeah, for sure. Everybody runs a little bit different. But yeah, but ideally that's kind of where you want to be. Take that nice load on a Friday morning. Get unloaded Friday morning, take that, 12, 1,400 miles, whatever it is for the over the weekend load, post up on Saturday, fresh clock on a Monday. So yeah, but recaps, all of that, it's all part of the game as well. You just got to look at it strategically. Some guys, the guys that want to do like a delivery on a Saturday or want to do a short load on a Sunday. The real problem is, are the what's the probability of having a problem on a Sunday, right? How many people show up and now they can't get you unloaded, and all of a sudden your money maker load on Monday is off the table because they haven't unloaded you for Sunday. But yeah, some guys don't, but a lot of guys do that 34. That's kind of the thing. So you always got that fresh clock on Monday. All right. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Uh, uh, do you provide tech or training for load tracking requirements? We're always willing to help, but tracking is pretty much going to be done from whatever the broker sends over, whether it's whatever app they want you to download for that moment. But yeah, so one of the things is, for example, on the billing, right, when people cam scan stuff over to us, also on the fuel cards, because we have two apps, all of that. Yeah, there are a lot of people who aren't as tech savvy, and we do spend time with you in orientation because that's what it's about. It's about being successful inside of there, knowing what to do when you're out on the road, right? Because I rather you cam scan something over to us or show you how to use the app, how to unlock it on the fuel card. Everything gets done in the orientation, because it's, if the person isn't that tech savvy, it's so much harder later on when he's actually, 7 o'clock at night, he's trying to get fuel, and then all of a sudden he can't because it's locked, and now he's in, pressure started, it's raining, and you name it, man, everything goes wrong, and now all of a sudden I got somebody on the phone with trying to tell them how to update an app or something like that. So we do that in orientation, where it's a controlled environment. Everybody's on their best behavior, and we make sure that the person understands. We actually spend time with them to make sure they understand. As a matter of fact, even Motive, some people have never used Motive on the app. Usually they've had the tablets provided by the company, and it's just a little bit different. So we show them how to navigate through there. In addition to that, we'll also spend some time, hook it up to, we got I call it the Voyager mobile. We hook it up to the Tundra. We go down the street. We come back. And the guy's allowed to play with the app and put it off duty, on duty, yard move, whatever the case may be. Getting really familiar with it. So when he does get onto the road, then all of a sudden he's ready to rock and roll. It's a familiar thing. He's been there. He's done it. And it helps out. I mean, we even go the extra mile, where we did have an individual who needed a little extra help getting used to that. All right, cool. He FaceTimed my people on the safety team. They were FaceTiming, inverted the camera, show them, okay, click here, click there, walk them through it. About a week of that, and then all of a sudden, smooth sailing. So yeah, that's sometimes you just need exposure to certain things, let it become familiar, and things get easier. So definitely, we have helped plenty of people who are not that tech savvy. Do you allow drivers to negotiate their own rates with brokers? No. We have dedicated dispatchers for you, and that's the relationship right there. That's the one that has to thrive. We just talked about that too, right? So it has to be where the trust factor comes from not what we're saying, but our actions and what we're doing. So if this dispatcher can make money and puts it on your truck, then you should have that trust factor where he's getting the right loads. However, you have to have dialogue. All right, what's the plan this week? Where are we going? What are you thinking? And it's checks and balances, because at the same time, you want to make sure that your dispatcher has several different ideas. Hey, who was the top earner? what did he do? How can we do that? What is something outside the box? I'm willing to go somewhere different. Let's risk the biscuit. Let's do this. Let's do that. So that's the real negotiating there, not just with the broker. It's not like those companies that give you access to a low board and then that's it. You know what I mean? Too many things can go wrong. And there are plenty of people. We got to be protective of that, especially nowadays with all that freight guarding and all that. It's that could be detrimental to a company, especially depending on the size of it. All right, come on, guys. I got 14 people in the chat, only 9 thumbs up. I need a few more. Please help a brother out. It helps the algorithm get this in front of people. And also, please subscribe. We got plenty of content that comes out daily. So make sure you're getting that content by subscribing and hitting the bell. All right. And for those who are looking for a better place to run their business, 863-342-5171. You got to give us a call. All right. So got something in comment. 1,000 to 1,200 miles for the weekend are ideal. You are able to pick up Friday, drive all the way close to your delivery, and get your 34 without any issues. There you go. That's what time it is. So kind of share the same sentiment. So that's pretty much a lot of guys do that. All right. All right. So here we go. How often do you check in with your owner operators? Everybody, they're checking in on a daily basis. You have to have communication with people on a daily basis, even though it's easier said than done for a lot of people. So if your dispatcher is not calling you on a daily basis to check in, you got to give us a call at 863-342-5171. Right. And so part of that, even if you're just, let's say you took let's say you just took a 1,400 mile run and today you're just driving and not making a delivery, whatever the case may be. The point is why you're getting a call, just to make sure everything's okay. But already they should be working on that reload. They should not be waiting for you to be empty to start working your plan. Right? That's just kicking the can down the road. So that is problematic. So you think about this. Like, so for example, if I have a bunch of guys, right, I have a dispatcher who a bunch of their guys are actually making delivery on a Thursday. So most of his team is going to be empty on Thursday, which means Wednesday, he's already working that plan. So he's talking to his drivers no matter what, even though he's empty most guys are going to be empty on a Thursday. They're getting phone calls on Wednesday. Hey, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that. I got what you think, blah, blah, blah. This is my idea. So there's always something popping. And the strategy is always being worked and always going on. So you should be getting phone calls every single day. Bottom line, will I be able to communicate directly with upper management if needed? Yeah, you have access to everybody in the building. That's not a problem. So key players, everybody's a key player basically. But yeah, you do have access to everybody. It's an open door policy. But I will say, my man, not sure what drums at, but policies are policies. That doesn't mean that an answer will change. So it just depends on why the guy is asking. We're always willing to share knowledge, spend time with people, everybody in the organization. That is not a problem. But a policy is a policy. So it's not going to be, depending on who I talk to, the policy will end up different for me or for, looking for that change. All right. So there you go. That's how we're all singing the same song. So here we go. And please drop in the comments below. Does anybody not experience that? Like, are there companies that you just don't have access to your dispatcher's manager? And is it that complicated to get in touch with someone to help you out? Put that in the comments so we can share it. Willing to know. And if that's your situation, man, you need to get out of that real quick. Give us a call, 863-342-5171. How do you take a freight guard? How do I take a freight guard off my MC? Oh, yeah. That should be that's difficult, man, because even with the rules changing, I'll tell you what we do in order to fight that. I think people could pay lawyers and all of that. It just depends how long it's been on there, and are they even going to change? I don't know. But here's what happens. The minute that bad boy comes through, you got to start fighting right away, because I think you have like 72 hours to fight it off, right? So the first thing is point of attack, right? You got more to lose than they do. So already, if you just because you can, raise your voice doesn't mean you even make sense. So you have to be able to understand that. Sometimes, depending on what happened, you want to get the reasonable person on the other line. So you want to understand why you got that freight card. And then you want to, and be honest with yourself. Did you have some blame to it? And how to get out of this bad boy, right? So I would want to get access to somebody else from the broker, and who's somewhat reasonable. I'm not even saying he's not upset. I'm just saying that they're kind of reasonable to that. They're also looking for a solution like we are. They understand business. And then saying, okay, so I need these things to happen to get there. This is everything that I have done in order to get to the solution. And I'm willing to do a little more. I just need you to step in too, because we have a mutual customer in hand. And usually when you speak like that, and you're gonna be able to get them to take it off once the solution is met within that time frame. But as long as everything is reasonable, right? You need to talk to somebody else other than the let's say the broker who put that on you, the first agent you talk to, or whatever the case may be, because they're going to be in their feelings, man. They already put it on there because they're in some kind of way, and their level of rationalization is like, they got some complex and the pulling complex going on. So you want to be able to have access to somebody else. That's typically the key to it, and then you should be in a better spot when that happens. But I'm curious, what's the freight guard? What was it for? Because we were in a different position where, man, this sucks. We had an option: pay the late fee of $300 or keep the freight guard. I just think that's blackmail, man. That was a pretty shitty situation. But again, there we are. So is that thing written all? Is it effective, and or is it one sided? What's your opinion? Put it there below. All right. All right. David said I should get at least a Starbucks gift card for my loyalty to your morning show. You should, man. You should. Put your address there so we can send it to you. All right. Hudson said, was my last experience with previous company. Okay. So here you go. I'm not sure what he's referring to, maybe the freight guard or whatnot. So here we go, guys. Those freight guards, depending also on the size of the company and all of that, it can have a lot of impact. Your one-man army just getting started, and then all of a sudden you get a freight guard. That's huge. That's fucking huge, right? You're 100 trucks and you get a freight guard, and you've been in business already for over 10 years. It hits, but hopefully you already have established relationships with brokers, and everything like that it's not as bad. It's still bad, but it could be worse, is what I'm saying. So here we go. And usually, that thing comes from those smaller brokers, man. Like that's usually where those nasty freight guards come from, and you just got to know how to fight back, man. We've done a bunch of shit to fight back. It's just, you got to take the gloves off, man. You got to bring by, you got to be just as cunning as they are. You got to bring the same energy as they do. You're just using it for good, right? As a carrier, using it for good. They are not. And so that's what I'll say about that. Sometimes you got to be creative. So maybe that's for another show. I'll actually bring Mike on for that, man, and he'll be my guest appearance and let the kind of shit we've done to make sure it gets off of us. Okay, so Hudson said, what I mean was the previous company I was leased onto photoshopped rate cons, and they lie about everything. There you go, man. That right there is actually why, like, if anybody is in that situation, you should not think twice to get the fuck out of there, because what happens is, your business is losing at that point, and it's not transparency. So number one, we are transparent here, above board. However, I do want to drop something on you guys. So deal with a lot of guys day in, day out. In my experience has been this. So for those guys who are looking for those carriers that offer, call Belize, Colombia, whatever, you need a little bit more drive time, and they're cheating on their logs, right? So they're cheating on their logs. So if they're willing to cheat there, I'm telling you now, the environment you are in, that is not where they stop. right? Because they're going to be doing that for a reason. And then that's the culture. So why are you surprised when stuff like that happens? If, what do you think? They're only going to do it in your favor, for your favor, and they get no value out of it, right? Why would someone do that? Why would somebody risk the liability, safer score violations, all of that if there's no financial benefit, right? So they're just kind of deflecting, right? They're allowing you to they're waving this carrot in front of you that you could just do whatever you want with the logbook, and you ain't even getting the real Raycon, right? So why would they cheat here but not here? So come on, man, wake up. So guys, pay attention to that. Like really, really, really consider that. Again, maybe we're just different. I'm in it for the long run, right? I'm in it to do good business. I'm not looking to to change, to be those chameleon carriers. None of that. All that shit is everybody's confuses movement for progress when you become that. All that money that you think you're making, it's already gone. It's just a matter of time before it catches up. So that's not what we do, guys. To reap the benefit of full transparency, 863-342-5171. You got to give us a call and join our team. All right. Hey, guys, I'm looking for a few more thumbs up. Come on, 15 people in there, only 12 of them. Let me get some love, man. Couple more. And please like, share, subscribe. And if you're not subscribed, do so and smash that that bell icon. That way you get all our content coming to you whenever it comes out every Monday after 5. So you want to be doing that. All right, so here we go. Well, let me see a couple more questions before our time is up. So squeeze them in, people. If you got some more questions, let's go. And put your experiences up here too, freight card, whatever it is, so other people on this channel can actually learn from each other and how to do things a little different. All right. All right. Well, here we go, man. What makes an owner operator a bad fit for us as a carrier? All right, what would make a guy a bad fit? Boom, here we go. All right, number one, let's start with safety issues. All right, constant hours of service violations. Here's what I think, man. A lot of guys, I know it's going to be a sensitive subject, right? So let's just talk PC, right? A lot of guys come with bad habits, and I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of guys don't even really understand why they're doing something. They just think that if I PC to the shipper, or like if I do this, you're automatically just winning. They don't even really understand that they didn't have to. So for example, there's a lot of times where somebody might get fuel for 7 seconds, right? And they think that's value. All right, but your clock started, right? So what is the real value? Like, how tight are you within your day? And like, go back. So if you did that yesterday, I'm asking you to go back to your logbook and look at it, and you tell me that, like, how did that move the needle any which way? Because what you really are is you're you're just asking for the DOT to boom, give you a violation and look deeper. And then it's going to go beyond that one day, and he's going to go backwards. Right. So, that would be a bad fit for me, where we're constantly fighting that, because it's not just that. Everybody gets lost in one thing here. That individual is arguing with safety. Safety is kind of trying to show them the light and explain, and policies, and not just that, regulations and so forth. Right. And they're trying to come to some kind of agreement about it. Right. But that agreement and all of that, nothing even matters. The true value is when DOT comes in, he's going to smack everybody around, and the rule's the rule. He's going by his green book, period. He don't give a shit about no delivery time. He don't give a shit about no, I was trying to get home. None of that matters. And I'm not even saying he's right, and I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just, the rules of the game are the rules. So you got to know the rules in order to win the game. You got to be able to pick your battles. You got to be able to understand that this thing goes further than that. So now, let's say multiple violations, right? Safer score goes up. Now, the same guy who got us there is saying we don't have freight. But if I allow that guy to get us there, I have soldiers that have been with us for, decades, that now these guys don't have privy to certain loads, or now they're being impacted negatively because I know this guy for 30 minutes. So I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to destroy what we have all been trying to build over the years collectively. We, everybody here got families just like an owner operator. We got bills just like they do. So it's about collectively growing as a unit for everybody. Uh, uh, you know, that's kind of how we're going to view it, man. It's so important because even with those safety issues, it rolls into other avenues. That guy could spark an audit for us, and now we in it just because he needed $700 on a load. Like, what's that going to do? So safety issues is a major one. You know what I mean? DOT is coming. You got to be compliant. We're not a chameleon carrier. Don't want to be a chameleon carrier. So we're gonna be, we're gonna do it right the first time. So here we go. And then operations, we kind of touched bases on that a little bit before. I have had, been doing this a long time. We have experienced operational nightmares. And what I mean by that, it costs us money. Meaning a guy wanted to be part-time and maybe work 2 days out of the week and so forth. So that's cool and that's gravy. But is it even making us money? Like at some point, he's taking the trailer, he's doing that on the one, out of the one load, he does one load a week. So out of the 4 loads he did, he blows a tire, and everything is upside down. Everybody's wasting time. There's no money in that. You know what I mean? It's just, I wouldn't want to give up a seat on a dispatcher, right, for that guy that does the one load. One of the things that we want to pay attention to is it's got to make financial sense for everybody. We're here for you to make money. We're going to suggest the way to make that money. So just because that is a good business plan for you, cool. We have to look at it as a business plan for us. Does this financially make sense? Is this value? And then either party can really say no, right? That's the beauty about being an owner operator. That's the beauty about being a carrier. This is, at the end of the day, B2B. So we can actually say no, and you can say no, and nobody has to be upset. We could shake hands to disagree, and that's okay. So operationally, that being a nightmare where somebody's just constantly rejecting loads, and they use that as a strategy. That's when that becomes a problem, right? Because we forgot what we came for. Those are probably what I would say 2 bad fits: safety and operational nightmare. That's what I got today, my people. Any other questions in the comments? Let us know. Tomorrow is Friday, closing out your week. Please check in with us 9 a.m. tomorrow. And if there's any kind of topics that you guys want to talk about, please put it in the comments so we can make sure that we cover it. Thumbs up. I appreciate that. Let me get a few more before we sign off. And if you are not, please subscribe and hit that bell so the content reaches you on a daily basis. All right, my people, without further ado, be safe, drive safe, keep earning. And if you're looking for a better carrier that will support your business, it is 863-342-5171. All right, my people, be safe.